Hey everyone, Marco Gonzalez here. Happy Sunday. Hope you've had a great weekend so far. Great to see you, and I'm excited to have today's guest. She's been a friend of mine for many, many years. Lynette Romero. You guys just finished watching her on the KTLA 5 Weekend Morning News. Everybody watches that show. Why wouldn't you? Their chemistry, everything is just incredible. So we'll talk to her about that and just about anything. I mean, she's very authentic, which I love, and we'll talk about anything that we feel. That's the beauty of this. I really enjoyed, obviously, doing these on the couch episodes. It's the beauty of social media. I mean, we're able to connect, even though we can't see each other in person. It's just great that we're able to connect in this way. So it almost feels like, we're in person here chatting. It's always a great thing. I see a lot of you joining. Thank you so much. We'll let people join in a little bit more before we connect with Lynette. I said Leanne. Lynette here. So that'll be fun. So what's everybody doing? I mean, the weather is a little cloudy today, so it's going to maybe keep you from hanging outside. Although I kind of like the cooler weather personally. Kind of a bike ride or, something socially distant is always good. My kids actually aren't here right now. They are doing a socially distant visit with grandma and grandpa. So I have the house all to myself. It's nice and quiet. I don't have kids outside knocking on the door. It's a great thing. So I'm just going to check to see if Lynette's joined. Also, just so you know, if you have questions for Lynette or myself, feel free to ask them. During our chat, I do like to look, it kind of scrolls. It kind of scrolls through with the questions, and she'll see them and I'll see them, and we'll try to answer them as we can. If we have to go back, we'll do that. But yeah, so much is going on. We'll talk about the success of the weekend morning show, as well as many of you have commented on how amazing she looks. And we'll talk about, her weight loss journey and whatnot. So it'll be exciting. Okay, Lynette's joined. Let me grab her and we'll start chatting. Lynette,
Hi,
how's it going?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm good. You're back at home already after the show? You just boom.
I am. I'm going to turn you up. I can't hear you very well. Yes, I just got back. In fact, my husband made me breakfast really quick. I ate really fast.
Oh man, that's a good husband.
I'll tell you what, he's the best.
I know. How is David doing and Olivia? I haven't seen them in forever.
I know. So Olivia's going to be 16 in August. So she's a typical teenager. We're working. I'm working on that. She's doing great. I'm working on it.
Yeah. I know. I can imagine.
Yeah, being the mom of a teenage girl is not what I thought it would be like. It's hard.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. So that means she's almost at driving age. I can't believe
Yeah,
that.
yeah. She actually could have her permit right now, but the whole pandemic thing kind of, put a little bit of a snag in that. So she
Or-
hasn't actually even taken her test yet. And I'm okay with that. I would not want to start driving in LA. That would not be where I'd want to start.
I know, with all the craziness going on and how everyone drives now. It's weird
Right.
because we've known each other, just so people know. I've known you now for, 12 years since, I was a reporter at KTLA back in the day. But Olivia was she was just like 4 years old at the time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
grown so
Okay,
much.
so what year were you at KTLA?
I was at KTLA in 2008 and 2009.
Yeah. So she was 4. Okay. I'm looking at you. You look so good. And I look green. Do I have the wrong filter on?
Wait, let me see. Let me see.
Wait. Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait,
That works?
you turned black and white for a second. There.
How's that? Better?
That is better. Wait, let me look again. See what's another filter. Let's try it.
Okay, hang on. Okay, that's the scary one.
No.
Okay, and then that one?
I like that one.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you know why? You're bright. It looks good.
You look so good. What do you have? Do you have
I
like
have, you know what? I have this ring light. It's not the one that you see people have with their phones like right in the center. I got one. It's like $40 and it's just a ring up here and it has 3 settings and I don't know, it's worked for me. I kind of like it. There's 3.
That's kind of what I got. So I got one yesterday.
Yeah, look.
I got one before and then it broke. Like it worked great and then all of a sudden wouldn't turn on. So I just got this one and it's like a little one, but it's kind of what you said. It's got like the phone, like the little
Right.
thing. but it
Yeah.
might be the lighting in here. I call
Yeah.
this our red room. I love this room.
Uh,
The walls are red. The couch used to be red. It kind of looks like a what do you call it? Not a bordello, but you know,
yeah, I know what you mean. I
a
love the
bordello.
Emmys in the background. It's a great
Those,
room.
that's the piano that nobody plays. I
Yeah.
don't know how to play it. Nobody knows how to play the piano, so we threw the Emmys on there because we didn't know what else to do with the piano.
Yeah, I love it. You know, sometimes also if you touch the screen, like if you touch your face, it'll highlight the light in different places. That's a trick. And you'll see the focus changes and the lighting will change too.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, see if that helps. Because I know sometimes when I'm on, it'll blow out the back here,
Uh-huh.
or it makes me blown out. So it's kind of a bizarre thing. I don't know.
Oh my God, look at these people. This person's like blah, 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 blah.
Ah! Hey, you guys, we're friends. We're just chatting. Come on. Oh my gosh. So let's talk about the success of the KTLA 5 weekend morning news. You, Mark, Dana Devin, and Liberty Chan, you guys have the best chemistry, and people obviously are responding. Doesn't that make you feel cool to know that people are really vibing with your chemistry?
You know, it's so great. That show from the day I started has been such an amazing, fantastic surprise. You know, I mean, I've been doing this. I've been in LA for 22 years.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
24 years? No, let's see.
Well, you joined in what, 1999?
I got here in 98, in December of 98.
Okay.
And before that, I worked in Denver for 10 years. So I've been doing this for a long time. Don't do the math because then you're like, oh my gosh, she's really old. But whatever. So yeah, I've been doing it a long time. The last thing I thought I'd be doing at this point in my career would be anchoring weekend mornings because I did that. I did that before I left Denver.
Right.
But this show is like no other. It's so much fun. We have the most amazing viewers. That's really the reason it works because we have viewers who are so engaged.
Yes.
In fact, I just saw Dave Morris. He said something right there. Like he said hello.
Yeah.
And he sent us $40 to get Starbucks, and this was like in February. And you know things happened. The pandemic happened, so I never got a chance. We never got a chance to do it. But today he bought us all coffee. Like so
cool.
Sweet. Like I wanted to send it back, but he really wanted to buy us coffee.
So
yeah,
cool.
our viewers are just amazing. And so, yes, our ratings are very, very good. It's a very popular show, but it's really because of them, because they're kind of like the other, they're another anchor on set. We talk to them, we listen to them, we care about them, and the feeling's mutual, so it works.
So cool. And also the way that you guys are, you're very much yourselves. I mean, whether it's Mark or Liberty, I love Liberty. She will just take the liberty and just stretch during your 8:38 stretch. I mean, she is so authentic, just like you. And I think that is the key to a successful show.
Yeah. Yesterday she did a headstand. I
I
mean,
know.
seriously, Liberty could do a headstand anywhere, anytime for like 2 hours straight. Like this girl can stand on her head like nobody's business. You know, she's a yogi. She's actually trained. So she can do that like that. And it's not just like a regular headstand. It's like the most beautiful headstand, and her legs, and like she's, you know, it's just perfect. So yeah, you just never know what you're going to get when you turn on from 6 to 11 Saturday, Sunday. And you know, when I started, it was like 6 to maybe it was 7 to 8, I think, on Saturdays, and 7 to 9 on Sundays. And I remember the news director, Jason Ball, was like, I know you may not want to do this, but listen, you know, it's not even a full day and it's super easy. And when I first started, I used to go on the air, I'd come home, and the family would still be asleep. David'd still be asleep. So I'd jump back in bed. I'd be like, I didn't even work. I'd get up, I'd go to work, come back. Not that way anymore. Now it's a full 5 hours, and you come home and you're like, you're wiped, but it's fun.
That is insane. And you know, when I used to do mornings, before I went to KTLA, I was in Palm Springs at KMIR, which is the NBC affiliate, and I did mornings as well. But you would get up at like 2 in the morning. You never feel normal. It's not a normal cycle. Like, you know, it takes that much time to get used to that kind of daily schedule.
It's true. I've been doing early mornings since Olivia was in kindergarten. She was starting kindergarten when, again, my boss, Jason Ball, said, oh, I need you to, maybe for a couple weeks, try the morning show. I really need you on the morning show. Good live reporter. Yeah. And I said, 2 weeks? What time? And that was a 3:30 a.m. shift. And it's been all these years. Olivia's going to be a junior in high school now. And she was a kindergartner when I started it. So yeah, you never get used to it, but it really is like, I mean, I did the 10 o'clock show when I was here. When I started here, I was reporting for the 10, and then I anchored the 10 p.m. news with Hal.
I remember.
So I was always on nights. But there's something really special about morning TV. And again, I think it's the relationship with the viewers, because people are up and they're, I don't know, they just connect in a way
Yeah.
that you don't see at night.
It's that energy, that energy. And funny thing about Liberty, she actually came to KTLA from the embassy station in Palm Springs. Did you know that? KMIR.
I did know that. Yes, I did. But before that, she was an intern uh,
Oh,
on the 10 p.m. news. She was Marta Waller's intern. And Marta and I, our offices were across from each other. Back, we called it Anchor Row in the old newsroom.
yeah, yeah.
So I knew Liberty when she was just interning. And she always makes fun. She always teases, not teases, but we always joke about, you know, I guess I helped her learn to write, or helped her like editing her copy or something. She was writing stories. And she always says, you taught me there's only two words for fire: fire and it. I was never allowed to write blaze.
Oh, yes.
I don't like saying blaze.
Blaze.
Yeah.
I know, because we get stuck on those crutch words as a reporter or an anchor, and you start repeating them, and then after a while you're like, I can't use that anymore.
Yeah, who says blaze? Boy, look at that blaze.
Yeah, it's not a real natural word.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting, Lynette? I feel like everybody is so obsessed with your look right now. I mean, you obviously are beautiful, right? So, but lately people have noticed that change in you, and you discussed it a little bit a while ago with how you lost the weight and how you're feeling so good. But before we talk about that, I loved when you were explaining it. It was on an IG Live.
Yeah.
You were so, you said, you know, I didn't sleep all night knowing that I was going to share this with you. And it was so an intimate conversation. And I think it was incredible. So let's tell people how it was done, because as you've mentioned, it's not easy.
Yeah. You know, the hard part for me, honestly, was showing the before and after pictures. Because, you know, you put it out there. I mean, obviously I'm on the air. I was like, that's what I looked like when I was on the air, and looked like that for, you know, years.
Right.
I mean, I kind of shared that I've struggled with my weight up and down, and for a long time it's been up more than it needed to be or should have been.
Right.
Since I remember going my very first diet, knowing that I needed to lose weight, or feeling like I needed to lose weight, when I was in fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Fourth grade. I absolutely remember feeling uncomfortable in my skin, uncomfortable in my body. Okay. And then, you know, I remember from sixth grade to seventh grade, I worked really hard, worked out, and I lost weight. I was a cheerleader in seventh grade, so things were great. And then I guess maybe in high school, I started to gain weight. College, I gained weight. Then I lost weight. So it's kind of been like this thing, but it was always something
in your mind. Oh wait, we froze for a second. There you
Sorry,
go.
that was my daughter.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. You were saying it was always something in your mind.
And it's always something in the back of my mind. But yet it's funny, because when I had Olivia, I didn't want it to be, I didn't want her to have that, you know, stereotypical burden of appearance and vanity, and all the things that you think are associated with weight and how you look, and, you know, being in, you know, Hollywood and having me on TV, all those things, I felt like it was going to be so much pressure. Right. And I didn't want her to have that pressure. So I really tried to stay away from it. I didn't, you know, we're more than that. And so that's why, I mean, for many years, I don't know that I'd say I was uncomfortable in my skin, but, you know, I was successful. I was doing great on TV. I was on, you know, I was top, you know, number 2 mark in the country, and I was winning Emmys, and things were great. Right. But what, you know, for me, what it was this time was really about health. I wasn't taking care of myself in the way I needed to. When I went to the doctor, this was in April of last year, I didn't realize it. My husband had said, you need to go to the doctor. You haven't been to the doctor. I'm like, oh yeah, I was there last year. Turns out I hadn't been there in 3 years. Yeah, my mom lives with us. She has dementia, and she's going to be 90. So I take her to Kaiser all day long. I take her to, you know, I'm always taking her to the doctor. Olivia hasn't missed any of her appointments. Everybody's, you know, good to go. I wasn't doing it for me. And everyone but Lynette. It didn't even, like, if you would have asked me to put my hand on a Bible, I would have sworn I was there the year before. Wow. So, and then the worst thing is, he took my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was super high, way higher than it's ever been. And he said, what is going on? And I started crying. So it wasn't just the weight, it was being stressed, not taking care of myself, you know, working this overnight shift, dealing with, you know, an elderly parent with dementia, having, you know, there was a lot of stuff going on. It's life. It's what everybody else, it's all the stuff that you guys go through at home. Right. But it had been piling on. So I really just kind of decided, okay, I've got to make some changes. And so I actually tried to lose weight on my own. That was in April. So April, May, and June, I tried, and I lost maybe like 8 pounds. And
Okay.
then I got super serious in July. I went back in June and asked him about intermittent fasting, and I had started to do a little bit of research, and he said, "Oh, absolutely." And so he's fantastic. He's a Sikh, and so he's like talking to Deepak Chopra. He's got this beautiful voice.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's very he was at my wedding. I love him. So
Oh,
he's known
really?
me a long time. He's known
Wow.
me since I've been here.
Okay.
He's always been my doctor. So he knew something was wrong. So I asked him about IF, and he said, absolutely. He's like, I do it. He said, you should really look at it and research it and see what you think. So I went into reporter mode, and I watched podcasts and TED Talks, and I read books and online and articles. And I just went full, head on, full force into it. And I started that like in the middle of June. And by December, I had lost about 50 pounds. Yeah. By
50
December.
pounds. And
Yeah.
it's been 1 year. If you think about it, we're at the 1 year mark.
Yeah. From when I started.
From
yeah.
when you started.
And then over like January, February, March, I lost more. So I hit my first goal, and then I made another goal, because you never know, like, that's the other thing. You never know when you're at your goal, because you don't know till you get there. I'm different now. My body's different than it was when I weighed this before. So I just kept changing my goal. And so now total, I've lost, it's so hard for me to say because it sounds like so much, but it's over 70 pounds. Yeah.
Over 70 pounds. That is so inspiring. And the interesting thing is, I know as a reporter, you said intermittent fasting. You say always check with your doctor. You're not saying that's for everybody, but it's what worked for you. And that's what changed you. And I think that the fact
and
that
I was going to see him every 3 months. I had, follow-ups every 3 months. He was taking my blood pressure, looking at my lab work, my blood work, my cholesterol, all of it.
Okay.
So he followed me all the way along. So yeah, I always encourage people, do your own homework, and you have to talk to your doctor to make sure it's the right thing for you. A lot of people say, oh, I can't do it because I'm diabetic. Some diabetics do it. And in fact, Dr. Jason Fung, who is one of the world-renowned experts on it, he deals with late-stage diabetics, and he puts a lot of them on intermittent fasting, and it reverses their diabetes if they're type 2 diabetic. So, you should really check it out. But yeah, I'm absolutely not the expert, and I don't want to really be the poster child for it either. But I will tell you, it's been the easiest, not the easiest, but the easiest diet I've ever been on. Once I got into it, and once I trained my mind and my body, I can do it. And I typically do what they call 1 meal a day, OMAD. And it works for my schedule. So I eat my last meal 3 hours before I go to bed. So, and what I always say, I'm closing my window, like,
we're done.
I close the window. When the window's closed, it's not going to back up.
Yeah. And, uh-oh, do we freeze again? Where are we at? Somebody called. I think someone called you. Let's see if you come back.
Herman.
She's like, I'm going to get mom on the phone. Wait, so people who don't know what intermittent fasting is, can you explain a little bit? I know you just said about the meals, but people are probably watching right now going, I want to do that. Explain what that is so people know. So
what it is you have a certain amount of time during the day that you eat, which is called your feed window, and a certain amount of time that you don't, which is your fasting window. So basically the belief, if you follow this, is that we feed ourselves way too much. We don't need to have 3 meals a day and 2 snacks. So we're constantly feeding our body. And so our insulin levels are going up and down as you're constantly feeding your body.
Yes.
So what fasting is it's like delay, don't deny. So what you can do is you just delay when you're going to eat. You put your body in a fasting mode, which as you get more into it, it's healthy for you to not eat, because then your body depletes the glucose in the blood and all the other things, and it allows it to be a little bit more efficient. And there's something called autophagy that really kind of turned the corner for me, and it was a game changer, because that's when your body, when it's in a fasted state, it can recycle itself. It can basically does spring cleaning. It gets rid of all the bad cells or misfolded proteins. It goes in and recycles all the bad and either makes it good again or gets rid of it. And that's what we don't let our bodies do.
And that word again is autophagy.
Autophagy, autophagy, which basically means self-eating.
Okay.
which sounds weird.
Yeah.
But what happens, and again, dementia and Alzheimer's, it runs in my family. Diabetes runs in my family. And they say that there are people who say dementia is type 3 diabetes, which basically means that a lot of people who have dementia have always had high blood sugar.
Wow.
And my mom has diabetes, and she's had it for years, and she has dementia. And part of that is because your brain, the bad cells in your brain, the sticky substance that causes dementia and Alzheimer's,
Yes.
It feeds on sugar.
Okay.
And so when you have sugar in your system all the time because you're eating, it has plenty of sugar to eat. So it's going through your blood, and it's fine. It's happy. And it leaves all the gunk in your brain and doesn't clean the brain. So it's not until you fast and get yourself in a fasted state that that stuff is like, okay, I need sugar. Okay, I guess I'll get the sugar here. And it cleans all that out. But you have to be in a fasted state. So you can decide. That's what's great about this is you can start out saying, okay, I'm going to fast for 12 hours and eat for 12 hours. It's super easy because 8 hours of it, you're asleep. So that means you get up and maybe you don't eat right away. And then you have 12 hours to eat. For me, that's too long because when you have a big window, you have a lot of opportunity to eat and maybe not, eat so well or consume too many calories.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I started with actually 16 hours fasting and 8 hours eating. And again, that you can eat 3 meals in 8 hours, super easy.
Yeah.
And then with my schedule, it just didn't make sense. So I cut out breakfast first because I'm busy. I'm running around. I'm doing my reporting. I never had time for breakfast anyway. So I would have like a protein shake or a protein bar, just grab it thinking, okay, I've got to eat. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That's what we've been told.
Right.
I don't think that's true for me. Anyway, so I cut out breakfast and I get home around 12. And I made it so that I would not have my first meal until I worked out. That's the other thing that became a game changer for me. I finally got on my Peloton bike that I've had since 2016.
I saw you're talking about that. Yeah.
Unbelievable. My husband was doing it. I just, like, my knee hurt. It was swollen. Well, my knee hurt and it was swollen because it wasn't working out. So I got committed to that and very dedicated. So I wouldn't eat until I would work out. So I wouldn't eat until like 12 or 1. And I was eating I was working out in a fasted state. Again, people think, oh, you can't do that. You have to eat to work out.
Yeah.
For me, would have a great workout in a fasted state. So I started that. And then I realized, okay, I have to stop eating 3 hours before I go to sleep. If I get up at 1:45 in the morning, I should typically go to sleep at 6 p.m. if I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep.
Yes.
Never happens. I never go to bed at 6, but I want to, and I think I should. So I want to stop eating around 3 or 4. So I stopped eating around 3 or 4 and then would fast. And now it's 1 the next day. So I eat and I kind of only eat 1 meal because that's all I have time for in that window. And it's always a good meal. You want something good. You want something hearty.
You want to feed your body something healthy. Yeah.
And that's what I did for months. And it worked for me. I was never, not never. Like there are times you're hungry, but I can be hungry and not die. It's okay to be hungry.
Yeah.
We don't ever allow ourselves to be hungry. And I also had a lot of, I had frozen yogurt probably at least 3 times a week.
That's what you wanted. Yeah. That's what
I would go have frozen yogurts and I'd put like chocolate chips on it or Snickers, peanut butter cups. Like I had other food because I never wanted to feel like I was denying myself. And that was what kept me on it. I didn't do that all the time, but I did it a lot and I still do. And then I also have done some extended fasting where I go beyond 24 hours and that's when you get into autophagy. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, but there's way more to it. And it's so funny. I could tell you all about it.
You know what though? I find it fascinating. I know a lot of people watching do too, but I think one of the big questions is, when you don't eat, like for me, like before I work out, I have to eat like an hour before to give me energy. Did you ever find that you didn't have energy or is that something that you didn't experience?
I think we think it, honestly. I have more energy working out fasted than I ever would having a protein snack before, a protein shake before.
Okay.
Your body, unless you have like 0 body fat, your body has enough fuel to fuel itself, to feed itself through a workout. So I do a 45-minute spin class. Like, so for example, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah. So yesterday I had been fasting. I did an extended fast because we went out and had Mexican food and a margarita on Thursday night. And I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like I was like eating a horse. And it was like really heavy food.
But you enjoyed it, right?
I did in the moment. I did. and so Friday I was like, I kind of don't need to eat. And I wasn't like, I wanted to fast through that and I wanted to cleanse. So I didn't eat on Friday. And then Saturday morning I worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so normally I wouldn't go that long, but extended fasting is something else that you have to really kind of read about. So yesterday morning I came home and I did a 45-minute spin class with Alex Toussaint, who is amazing. He's a great instructor, but he kicks your booty and he doesn't apologize for it. He says, his slogan is, this ain't daycare. This ain't daycare. Get up on that bike. So he's yelling.
Hey, it works. The motivation.
Yeah. And I had the best workout. When I was done, I used to kind of like sweat a little bit with the workout. You know, I get a little glistening. I would sweat, not like, I was dripping sweat down my arms. Like I was dripping sweat. I had an amazing workout. I think I burned like, what did it say, 384 calories or I don't know how many calories. And then I did core workout in arms after on my own. So that's after, and I hadn't eaten since Thursday night. So
I mean, these are things that we don't know. The average person doesn't know this stuff. And it's amazing because you did your research and you're giving us all these facts. And, you know, and I'm watching some of the comments, you know, people are saying, let's read some of them. I mean, you're giving inspiration. Somebody said here, I just started 2 weeks ago and have lost 10 pounds. This is all because watching and listening to you, Lynette. Thank you for your inspiration.
Really?
Awesome.
Who is that?
That is, please call me Kate.
Hi, Kate. Oh, I'm so glad. See, that's the only thing that pushed me to talk about it publicly, because it can be embarrassing, especially when you've been on the air all this time and, you know, you're always supposed to be confident and, you know, like you've got it all together. And, you know, we're just like everybody else. We struggle.
Yep.
So to think that it would help other people makes all the difference in the world to me. So I'm so happy, Kate.
So cool. And, you know, I know just in talking what you just said, you know, when you're on air, and I remember people kind of feel that there's no filter for them. You know, they almost feel like they can say anything to you or do anything. And it's unfortunate, but, you know, like I think Liberty said this morning, she's like, you know, the social media haters, sometimes other people jump on them. You don't even have to. But, you know, it's tough. It's tough as an on-air personality, especially you've done this for so long, to hear those comments, and you're a real person. So it has to hurt.
Yeah, it does. And you're fair game. And that comes with the territory. So I wish I could say I have tough skin. I don't. I take a lot of it to heart. And sometimes, you know, either my husband or Liberty has told me, don't respond. You know, we always kind of, you know, encourage each other, like, don't listen to that person. But sometimes you do. You can't help it. So sometimes I do respond. You know, some people have it wrong and you have to kind of call them out. And then they're like, oh, so sorry. Like I had some guy tell me, you know, clearly you're doing drugs. Like clearly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I was like, how could you possibly say that? You don't know me. I'm absolutely not. Like, I could be further from the truth. I'm doing this not just to lose weight, to be healthy. I mean, my blood pressure is like 108, back low again. It was 175. Like, come on. And then I have other people say, okay, you're lying. You got gastric bypass. We know you did. There's no way you did that quick without it. I mean, I totally understand that you might think that. But you can't assume that. And if I needed to do that, I would have done that. But this was what worked for me, and I didn't have it. And so, you know, just to think you know me when you don't is really annoying. But that comes with the territory.
Well, you know, people see beyond that, because right here, somebody said, you've always had a gorgeous smile, but now your smile looks so happy. You look great, definitely inspirational, and my role model. Wow.
Thank you.
That is so.
I look happy, not hungry.
Yeah. But you know what? Let me ask you this. You know, there is such thing as hangry. I bet there were some times when Olivia and David were like, oh gosh, here she comes.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, or they'd be like, oh, mom's window's closed. Don't mom's window's closed. But they knew. You know, I think I would get tired maybe, but I would get tired before. I was tired before with the extra weight, number one, and also just the schedule. So I guess I probably would get a little hangry, but honestly, if you think when you're the most hungry, if people say, oh, drink a glass of water, you won't be hungry, you'll still be hungry. But if I work out, before I work out a lot of times, because again, I'm in my fasted state, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. Then I work out and I'm not that hungry anymore. Or if you do some kind of a distraction, there are just different things you can do. Or if you really stop and you think to yourself, why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this because I love my husband. I love my daughter. I want to live a long, healthy life. And there, you know, I can wait another hour or 2 hours or whenever my window opens to have that really good meal or to have that frozen yogurt and chocolate chips.
Exactly. Your little cheat. Exactly. And somebody said, do you ever test your ketones? I think it's important to answer some of these questions because people are really taking this to heart.
That's a great question. So I did Lindora years ago, and I lost weight on it. I was pretty successful with Lindora. And that one, you have to check your, you know, you have to check your ketones. So basically, like, you pee on this little stick thing, and it tells you, like, I guess I remember, like, it gets really purple, I think, if you're in ketosis. So I did that for many months and lost weight, and it was very, very structured, which I kind of like structure, but you have to go and you get weighed and you get measured, and you go back and forth. So you have to, like, it has to become a part of your daily routine, and it takes you out of what you need to do that. So you have to be very committed to it. But no, I don't. And I thought about getting, you know, you can get a kit on Amazon, a keto kit. But it just, honestly, the weight loss was so consistent. And a lot of people are like, oh, you lost so fast. I lost like between 1.5 and 2 pounds a week, not much more. There was a couple weeks that maybe it was 2.5 pounds, but for the most part, it was on average 2 or less a week, but it was every week. So it seemed like it was fast, but that's kind of what they would say is healthy. That's considered not dramatic, not unhealthy, not much more than that, but that's okay. So that's why it was so fast, because it was consistent. So I never did it because it was working. So it's almost like it didn't matter. But yeah, a lot of people do test their ketones. And if I had a bigger window, maybe, because I tried to keep my calories around 1,200, because I was trying to lose weight. So if it wasn't working, I might have needed to do that to make sure I was in ketosis. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. And one of the questions we're getting, and I'm curious too, what number, is there a number you're going for, or when do you feel like you'll reach your weight, your goal weight? Yeah.
Again, that was probably one of the things I did wrong before, in that I never knew when I was at a good weight. I was always like, oh, if I could just lose 5 more pounds. If I could just lose 5 more pounds. So I never got into maintenance. I was always trying to lose 5 more pounds, and then I fell off the wagon and I gained. And I don't want to do that. So I hit my first goal, and then, you know, I wanted to get the next goal. I kind of did it, like, I looked at that BMI schedule with people, you know, the scale, which people say is baloney, like you shouldn't look at it, but you do, because I was in the obese, you know, like I was. And so I wanted to get in the normal range. So when I got into the normal range, I thought, okay, is this where I want to be? So it goes to how you feel, how your clothes feel, all those things. Where do you feel comfortable? And also, what weight does your body, you know how we all have a weight that we can get to? We stay at,
an ideal weight.
Yeah, we hover there. No matter what we do, we hover there. And before, my weight that I hovered at was here. So I've been hovering right here, honestly, since January, February. I've gone up 2 pounds, gone down 2 pounds, and I kind of wanted to hit like 1.5 pounds, probably 2 pounds from where I am right now, lower. I wanted to be there so that if I gained 5 pounds, it wasn't going to kill me. If I lost a few pounds, it wasn't going to, you know, I kind of wanted to have that wiggle room. But I'm just doing the same thing that feels good and comfortable, and I'm just hovering. So this may be where I finish up. I kind of want my body to tell me more than anything. So I did see somebody saying, don't lose any more weight. So I'm not actively trying other than to stay here. I want to make sure, because now I feel this pressure. Oh my God, I've told the whole world. So if I screw up and like gain weight and can't maintain it, I'm going to feel like I've let a lot of people down.
Yeah. People are funny. There are questions. Somebody literally said, how much do you weigh now? And what's your height? I'm like, hello, there's a boundary.
I know. Oh my gosh. Can I tell you, like, at my highest, I didn't tell anyone because first of all, I mean, I kind of hide my weight pretty well. And luckily, like on TV, you're from here up, right?
Yeah, you're at the top.
Yeah. But I kept a lot of weight through here, and, you know, I kept a lot of weight through there. So it did show. There's no doubt about it. But people wouldn't have thought I weighed as much as I did when I did. So I probably weigh more than you think I do. I'll just say that. And maybe someday I'll tell you, but I don't think I'll do it today.
No. And you know what, too? I love that you just had your hair cut, right? And it gave you this whole look to match how you're feeling now.
But I'm still not doing it right. Yeah.
But that was fun. I mean, you look fantastic. You really do. You just feel like you just feel like you look like you just have this energy that's unstoppable. And I'm curious too, Olivia, being that she's 15 years old, she's going to be 16. How has she responded to mom going through this transformation?
You know, that's a great question because obviously moms and teenage daughters are already going through, you know, a stage in their relationships.
Yes, yes.
And so I think, you know, for sure she gets tired of, I mean, she already got tired of people going, "Oh, I love you, mom, on TV."
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
of
or people
course. It
coming
comes
up
to the
to her.
territory. Yeah.
Yeah, but people coming up to her going, "Oh, Olivia," and they like want to hug her. She's like, "Do I know that, mom?" Sweetheart, they think you do, but you don't, and you don't have to hug them.
Right. Yeah.
But people feel like they know her.
Of
So I
course.
think she has grown tired of hearing me talk about IF and explain to people what it is and what I did. But everybody asks, so I tell them. So she's heard the spiel so many times. I think she kind of goes, enough already.
Yeah,
So she's
yeah,
had it with that.
yeah.
But I think she does know that it's not just about weight or appearance or all those things. She understands because she's been here. My mom moved in with us when Olivia was, I mean, my mom's been with us for 8 years now, living with us. So Olivia was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows what it's like to check, you know, your blood sugar 3 times a day. And she's had to give my mom her insulin shots. You know, she knows what that's about. So in her mind, she gets it. But, you know, we all struggle with it. And so I hope it's a lesson for her. But nobody can make you learn your lessons until you're ready.
You have to be ready. Exactly. Somebody else said, and it's hard. How do you not get emotional hearing this? Lynette, you are awesome and so inspirational. I've been watching you for so many years and just love and respect you for being such a loving and kind person. And your hair looks amazing too. You're absolutely beautiful, it says.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I went to this really cool guy. His name is Adir.
Yeah.
And he's awesome. But I've had the same hair pretty much for a while. And that was the other thing people were saying to me, Marco, sorry. Other people were saying to me is that, oh my gosh, get rid of your hair. You've had the same hair forever. Like, it's time for an updated style. Aquanet, get rid of your Aquanet. Like, me. You know, now that you have a new body, why don't you do something with that hair? Really?
Wow.
But it was kind of true. Like, I did, you know, but so I always like kind of push my hair off my face because I don't like hair on my face. Mm-hmm. But he wants me to do this.
I know. He said pull it down over your, like, kind of like a swoop.
And it's really hard.
Yeah, well, you are seriously rocking it. And like the clothes now, are you discovering new clothes fit you? And then you're like, oh my gosh, I can wear this, or what?
None of my clothes fit me.
Wow.
And this is not the best time for us to be buying, like, you know, a ton of clothes.
Yeah.
So I'm an Amazon girl.
Okay.
And I don't know if I want to tell people all of my secrets, but this dress
spill
is
it.
Like $30. Like, I don't spend much more than $25, $30. Honestly, I'm not kidding.
Wow. Yeah. Mission accomplished on that. I mean, that dress, you were killing it. You wore that on the air today, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Looks so good. I mean,
somebody said it looked like a mother of the bride dress or bridesmaid dress.
No.
It kind of does, but
yeah. No, I think it looks great. So many other things. I mean, I'm curious too. You know, life has been so different now with COVID-19. How has it been for you at home? You know, David and Olivia, being that she is that age, is she understanding like the need to stay in, or is she like, Mom, please expand my little circle?
100% she gets it. She gets it more than I do or anybody else. She was so concerned as a young person that she would be a spreader, a carrier, and give it to her grandma. And she would never forgive herself. Mm-hmm. So she self-isolated to the guest unit. Now, she might consider that, like I tell her, she's in her apartment in New York. But she like stayed away from grandma. Even when we'd have dinner, she would totally stay away. She never wanted to go anywhere. And so I'd say, let's go for a walk. You know, when people started going for walks all over the neighborhood and stuff, we would be masked and we'd be walking the dogs. Mm-hmm. And if she saw someone coming, she'd be like, oh, and she'd cross the street. I'm like, honey, okay. But she did not want to be around anyone. And just last week, mm-hmm. we had to go to the Apple store because she cracked her screen. Mm. She wore 2 masks.
Really? She's extra cautious.
She was nervous because one of the masks, she didn't feel like it was filtered enough, so she did 2.
Okay.
So she gets it. Absolutely. It's hard. But it's hard for these teenagers, these young people, because, you know, for me, I go to work. I get to you know, kind of continue like regular kind of my day.
Yes.
But they don't get to see each other. They don't get to do the things they're supposed to do. This like, online learning for school, it's really hard on teenagers. And
Yeah.
I feel really bad for them because this is a formative time in their lives.
Absolutely.
And this kind of pressure is really, really hard. So I do worry about that.
And a lot of them, the graduations, everything's virtual. We actually, last night, we do this thing where we have 3 families and one cooks an entree, one cooks a dessert, and one cooks an appetizer. And my wife, of course, does it. All the wives do it. But they set up a table.
Not this one, but go ahead.
All the families go to different houses. And then after you get all the different meals, you join on Zoom, like at 6 o'clock, and you enjoy dinner all together via Zoom.
Oh.
Super cool.
Yeah, that is, you have to make the best of this, right? And find ways to do it. That's so creative.
Yeah, it worked out. Maybe I shouldn't have had the drinks I had, but hey, whatever. It happens. It happens.
If I were to do that, I would have done the drinks and let somebody else cook.
Oh, see? Well, my wife luckily loves to cook, so I just kind of sit around and enjoy it and say how much I love it. So that's a good thing. I luck out. Another thing, too, right now, obviously, with everything, the movement, the Black Lives Matter movement and everything going on, I found it important. My kids are 10 and 6 now. Can you believe they're 10 and 6? And I had conversations with both of them independently about the importance of the movement and why they're seeing people on the news or in person protesting and marching. And I think it's important to, to have that conversation with your kids so they're not uninformed. I'm sure same thing with Olivia.
And they teach us so much.
Yes.
Her perspective on it was so interesting to me, how she explained to me what she thought about the protest, what she thought about the looting even, how she saw all these things in terms of how they relate to society as a whole and to history.
Yes.
Like she really understood the historical significance of what was going on. And I was so glad about that. And she understood it in a way that I didn't express it in the same kinds of way that she was expressing it. So she taught me stuff. But she also was like, I'm done. I can't watch this anymore. She knows when to turn it off. I don't.
Okay, that's good. I know, me neither. I'm always watching. I always watch. It's probably the news person in me. I always want to watch. But our kids do teach us a lot at whatever age they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, social media, of course, is a whole new thing. And, they're all, what do you think of that whole TikTok thing? Are you cool with that? Do you kind of keep her from it?
Oh no, she's been doing TikTok for a long time. And so we've done some TikTok videos. We did TikTok videos a long time ago. It's been like, she's, they've been on that stuff for a while. We did Musical.ly together and then we did TikTok. Now she wants me off of her TikTok, but we did do TikTok things together. And we've had, I know who these stars are, like Mad Lewis, she was on our air. Addison Rae was on our air.
Yes.
Wow. So we have some, it's the reality. It's part of our culture. So she does it. And, you have to trust them to be responsible. It's very easy to restrict them in so many ways. I'm sure if she were listening to me right now, she'd be like, come on, Mom, give me a break. You restrict me in so many ways. But you have to give them their wings and they either fly or they don't. And then they get back up and they try to fly again.
Yeah.
So, there's certainly some traps that this whole TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, you can fall into those traps. But I'm hoping that she'll be able to get herself out of them not go through that door.
Exactly. I love that you and Marc, though, you guys have that connection where he's into social media. He likes that whole thing. And is there anything about Marc that drives you bonkers that we don't see on the air?
That he's so young. That he's so much younger than me. No, sometimes, he doesn't always know the same things let me see, Bonanza. One day I said something about Bonanza. He's like, Bonanza? What's Bonanza?
Oh, man.
Or, sometimes just things from my childhood are not part of his childhood, obviously, which is,
Yeah.
But then he also kind of teaches me, he's opened my eyes to a lot of things. And so it's kind of nice being from different generations, or even different upbringings, whatever the case may be. He grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in Colorado.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you work with someone every day like that or so closely, it really is important to find the things that matter to them and that can matter to you, that you can appreciate and value, even if that's different from you. I did that with Hal Fishman. We couldn't have been more different generations, different cultures, different. Yes. But we had a respect. You have to have that respect.
Yeah.
So I think Marc brings a lot to the table. He makes me laugh. He's crazy. And he's smart, you know, he gets it. So, you know, it works, which
Yeah.
you can't
And,
fake that. It works.
and the hair is always perfect. Perfect, perfect. I'm waiting for you to do a live shot on the surfboard. I mean, he is a surfer, and I'm waiting for him to really get you in the water.
I know he really wants to do that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, now that I'm in a little bit better shape, I might, but
Cool.
I'm being like, I don't know. Like, but I couldn't have imagined it before because I wouldn't have had the strength to really do it. You know, now
Right.
I feel like I have like a little bit more strength that I could maybe do it.
Yeah.
But emotionally, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, Lynette, this has been fun. I can literally talk to you all day long. I mean, you're amazing. And congratulations on the weight loss, not just because it's a number, but because of the lifestyle. And you seem so happy and full of energy. And I love seeing that.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm always sorry that I can't answer all the questions. I get a lot of emails and DMs and stuff. So you've inspired me again, Marco, to do more of this kind of stuff. So I did do the one Instagram live that went on for an hour and try to answer as many questions as possible. But I might try to do like maybe a Friday, you know, Friday fasting talk or something where we can talk about stuff like this, because this is great. And we just don't get a chance to answer all the questions. And I know there are a lot of questions out there.
Absolutely. And it's super easy. I'm literally sitting on my couch. I have my ring light, and I'll send you which one I have, and maybe you can try that one. But there's nothing involved. I sit here and we just chat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been fun. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Well, say hi to David and Olivia and everybody on the KTLA 5 Morning News.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, Lynette.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. Oh, so much fun. Lynette is so inspirational and such a cool person. I love that she's authentic and that she speaks her mind. And I could tell by all of you, your comments, look at you say Lynette is glowing. I forgot to ask her about that. Somebody said, how hard is it not to eat the tacos at your restaurant? Oh, yeah, exactly. Her and David have that amazing taco place too. Yeah. Well, that was fun. Somebody else said, Lynette, national treasure, Lynette Romero. She's a staple here in Los Angeles, and we love that. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I'm Marco Gonzalez, and I'll see you next time right here on the couch. Take care.